welcome to Crumpets and Tea. Before I do start, I do want to mention that there are going to be some trigger warnings in here regarding sexual assault. So just caution if you do experience any of these, go ahead and stop at any moment. So today was the first time in a while that I experienced, I don't want to say necessarily a trigger, but yes, a trigger. Today was the first time I see my rapist in a while. This was the first time I see him in person in probably a year, maybe less. I was by myself, unfortunately. I was going into church and I was walking in happy, feeling great, just feeling like myself. And I stopped in my tracks because I saw him, and the only thing between us was a door, and the door obviously had a window, so I was able to see that that was him. And I stopped in my tracks and I froze and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to react. I had no idea that that was who I was going to see today. And my first thoughts were, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? And I stopped there and I quickly turned around so he wouldn't see me. And or maybe not so he wouldn't see me, because maybe he did, but so that I wouldn't have to make eye contact or actually look at his face directly in his eyes. And I started hyperventilating. I didn't know what to do. Did a I like walked away, kind of like made a U-turn, but then I walked back and I said, "No, I can do this." So there was two sides of me, the side that wanted to face it and just go in to church, and the other, my body, and it was like my body and my mind were like scared, frightened, and I felt violated. I didn't know I didn't know who to look for, who to call, who to I couldn't think, I couldn't process the fact that he was standing right there in front of me and this had to happen. I think I'm aware that at some point, or I'm going to run into him or I'm going to bump into him, it's such a small town. But I think it's you're just never prepared. I think like I'm doing so great now, like look at me, like doing fabulous, but it just like hits you like that. And I walked out and I didn't know what to do. There were my like I kept telling myself you can do this. I would walk back in a little bit, take a couple steps, and I would walk back out. And I like did like three circles, and then I looked around. I looked around. It was like I was asking for help. Like I needed someone there. Like I wish someone would appear, like my guardian angel, like my fairy godmother, anything, like anyone to rescue me. But I don't want to say rescue me. Like I didn't need to be technically saved. I think I just needed someone there because I was hyperventilating and I just I couldn't breathe, and I didn't like I couldn't even cry because I was like I just it was like just saying it out loud. It was terrifying. And so then like people started coming, and oh my God, and this is the worst part, is that then I see somebody else that I didn't want to see, and they're friends. So I think that's probably why. And I was like, oh my God. I felt like I was trapped. Like I was pushed against the wall and I had nowhere to go and I was being violated and I just couldn't escape. Like that's a nightmare. Like that's when you wake up from a nightmare and you're gasping for air. Like that was me living it in real life. And it was so awful. So then I I was like, I'm gonna get my phone number and pretend to call someone. I couldn't react. Like my body was frozen. And he came up to me and he wanted to hug me. And I was scared. I was scared. And he told me he hadn't seen me in a while. Of course, you're not going to see me in a while. Every time I see you, I avoid you. I run away. So then, luckily, oh, this is the thing that I wanted someone to save me. I needed an escape, and finally, someone came that I know, and I just need, like, I was crying out for help. I didn't know how. I just was crying out for help. Like, I wish somebody would, I wish I could just disappear in that moment. And so I didn't want to leave. I don't want to run away. And I know that everyone like heals or makes progress in their own. I just feel like I've been doing so well. And I know like my therapist says this, you can't judge yourself and tell yourself you've been doing so well. Like of course it's going to happen, but it just hurts because we're not aware, we're not informed. It's not like there's no sign saying caution, this is about to happen, or you're about to see this person. So I think that that's the worst part, that's the part where it's like you don't know how you're going to react. Like it's unexpected. And so I left church. I sat in my car and I stood there and I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to face this and I can do this. Like I'm here for this reason. I don't want to leave. And I just couldn't, and I drove away and I didn't know what to do. And I came home, and normally when I'm stressed or I'm feeling anxious, I clean because I need to scrub away. Like, if I can't clean my own life, I feel like that's when I need to clean something else or organize something else. I came home, moved my entire bed, put everything to wash, all my sheets, all my blankets, everything. It's as if I was trying to clean away like all the memories or like my body. Literally, I took two showers. I got into my room while I was doing my laundry. I took a shower and I rinsed my body. And that was a shower. Rinsed my body, cleaned myself. Like I was literally like washing away everything. And right now, I couldn't sleep because I think I still feel afraid. And this time I took a bath because I have to remind myself what calms me down, what makes me. And see, the thing is that I don't think it's going to trigger me, or I don't think it's going to affect me that much, right? Or I would hope not. I hope it doesn't, but it does. Apparently, obviously, it's obvious that it does because I laid here in bed and I try to sleep and I'm exhausted, so I pass out like I can just sleep. But I laid here and I couldn't sleep and I watched a little bit of Game of Thrones, I couldn't sleep. I like prayed, I couldn't sleep. Listened to music, I couldn't sleep. I even danced because dancing like releases endorphins and it makes me happy personally. I couldn't sleep. I folded my clothes. I never fold my clothes right away. Folded my clothes, organized all my jeans, got rid of stuff, threw away a bunch of stuff. Literally sat on the floor of my bathroom and scrub, like everything. Grabbed the bleach, like cleaned, like my hands don't smell like bleach anymore, but they did. And like I just cleaned the sink. I got rid of stuff. I organized my shelf, like every little thing I could possibly do. I was scrubbing and pouring more bleach and pouring more bleach. And it makes me so sad. And I think this is what I wish, is that I wish the same way that I could clean my bathroom or clean my room, is that that's the same way I could clean like my body from this. Because I get the bleach and I'm cleaning. I get the Clorox wipes and I'm clean, I'm dusting away and I'm getting rid of everything. And I can literally just sit there and like clean until like I'm like my hand hurts, but it doesn't matter. Like I see it washing away. I see all this dirt leaving. I see just like dust. And I think that that's where I'm like, I wish I could do this with myself, with my body, with my memory, with my body, because my body remembers it, my body feels it. And so I've been laying in bed forever. I couldn't sleep, and I went to put my blankets in the dryer to maybe see if the warmness of the blanket would help me, and I still couldn't sleep. So I was sad, and then I like grabbed my holy water and I spritzed it around my entire room, and I said a prayer. Still couldn't sleep, and I just didn't know what to do. And so I was like, okay, what if I was with my psych? Oh, and then I took my medicine and it just didn't help. And then I thought, I sat here and I thought, okay, like if my psychiatrist was here, what would she tell me? Like if I had her if I was able to talk to her right now. And I just remember her saying, like, feel the ground, remember that you're on the ground, like this is where you're at. So I took some breaths, I stood up, I did some stretches, nothing. And then I thought, you know what? Like, I don't want to take another shower. Like, I don't want to. I just think I don't want to feel this way, And if I clean as much as I can, organize everything, get rid of stuff, throw away stuff, move my bed around, like, it's not the same that it will help, but like I can organize and I can physically look at the difference, but it doesn't change my body. And so I my sister just gave me this bubble bath, so I turned on the hot water, steaming, 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 steaming hot water. Like I wanted to burn, like I wanted to feel pain. And it just doesn't work. It doesn't help. And I just turned on the bubble bath. I like put it as hot as I could. And normally, like, I'm like, oh my God, it's so hot. But I was thinking about Daenerys Targaryen, Khaleesi, and how she's in the fire and it doesn't burn and she can handle it. But because of everything she's had to endure. So I literally just stood there, laid there in the hot, literally hot, like hot, steamy, steamy bath, turned on some candles, and I just meditated. I put my head like below the water. I just meditated. And I also have this honey almond scrub that my mom just gave me too. And it makes your body feel all silky. And so what my therapist told me is that in order to like begin to like accept people touching your like loving yourself, your body, like when you're feeling like this to or anytime to like massage your body, because if you can massage your body and be gentle with it and love it, then like you're forgiving it. You're forgiving it for everything that's had to endure, and you're reminding it that it's capable of love and it doesn't have to be a negative touch. And so I was massaging myself with the honey almond scrub, and I was like gently touching myself, like my legs. I was massaging my neck, my ears, everything. And I was meditating, and then I had my new book. My friend gave me this book. It's the Demi Lovato book, and it's helping me a lot. Just like reading one per day, and I'm like, okay, like, just one per day, one quote. And it was such a coincidence because I normally don't go like I don't start from the beginning. I just open the book to where I feel like my heart's gonna lead me to. And today's it was accept your emotions and your thoughts and don't run away. And that hit me so hard because I was like, oh my God, I was trying to run away from my emotions and my thoughts. I didn't want to be alone. I needed anything like and what I really had to do, like Demi says, was confront it, accept it, deal with it, and which is what I did in the bath. I was thinking about it. I was so sad. I was thinking about it. I was mad. I was angry, furious. And I had to deal with it. Being alone here by myself and not just calling someone, not texting someone, just journaling these thoughts and confronting them and saying, you know what, this is what happened to me and this is how I feel. And like healing for everybody is different. It's not a linear process. It's definitely not. And, day by day, we figure out what helps us. And I really do think that the bubble bath helped, the candles helped, reading a quote. Actually, more than anything, it was the meditation. It was touching my body because at the end of the day, like my body's the one that's had to endure this and it remembers all of this and it gets triggered, and I just have to, I don't want to say be okay with it, but I want to learn to love it and be able to have somebody else touch me or be able to even touch my own body and just love it and accept it. And I want to be that friend to my body that I would be to somebody else. If somebody else called me right now and told me all this, I would be there for them, and and that's the way I want to talk to myself. And so this is what happened to me today. This is the addition that hurts, that this is the vulnerable side that people don't talk about. This is the vulnerable side that occurs, and a lot of people like me before would run away from it, would hide it. I didn't want to accept it. If I was having an anxiety attack like that, like a panic attack or on the verge of tears, I would deny it. I would shame myself. I would punish myself. Like, I'd be like, no, you don't do that. And now I'm just trying to be, like, it's not my fault. And I think that that's so hard to say and so hard to actually believe and say out loud, but I'm making it come true in my own head. And I just whoever is going through this or whoever has experienced the trauma, you're not alone. And you know it's not a linear process, and we all have our own journey. And just learning to accept it and being with our thoughts and our emotions, and not being afraid of that darkness. Or I don't want it to have power over me. And my mentor Kim, she told me that the moment you start talking about something and you face it and you accept it, and I'm not saying accept it like it's a good thing, but accept, like, yes, that is a part of me, but it is not all. It's not what makes me a person. And I don't want it to have power over me. In my hands, you would say that if I didn't want to talk about it, it was grasping my whole life and it was taking over my life. And I don't want that. And so, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for watching the entire video. And I hope that, we can all be a better world together and help each other out. Thank you for watching Crumpets and Tea. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, a good night, a good afternoon. Thank you so much.